Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the family. I hope you consider subscribing by the end of this video. On this channel I cover everything to do with university life, nursing school and international student experiences. So in this video I'm going to be speaking with you guys about the advantages of being a nursing student, and then next week I'll speak about the disadvantages of being a nursing student. So definitely turn on the notification button so you do not miss out on part 2 of this video. Without wasting much time, let's get into it. So let's get the elephant out of the room. The first main one that everyone knows is the job security that the medical field offers you, especially with nursing. There's such a high demand for nurses all around the world. So even if you do not want to stay in your own country, or in your country there's just a whole flooding of nurses, you are more than welcome to go outside. The journey getting there definitely is difficult, but you know at least that the outcome is you always have a job, and it won't be like, one of those courses. Number 2 is you create great networks for yourself. This is because during your study time you're being placed in different hospitals, clinics, facilities, etc., and you're meeting different people, from nurses, doctors, pharmacists, and everyone who works in that different facility. And as a result, you create a relationship with those people, so that eventually when you become a permanent staff in that hospital or clinic or whatever, you know someone who is there, and the adjustment period isn't as difficult because you know someone. And should you be looking for a permanent position, you will have go-to people that can help you to find what you're looking for. Especially for us as international students, unfortunately we do not qualify for ComServe. So as a result, we need these relationships with the people that we're working with, so they can give us references, so that when we're looking for a permanent position, they'll be able to help us out. So creating those relationships is really vital for you. And even if you're not an international student and you want to go outside of South Africa, you can use those people that you worked with to get references for yourself, so that it looks good on your CV when you're applying outside of the country. In addition to creating great working relationships, we also get time to make friends with other students from other universities. We get to learn things from one another and just see what things are in their university that we can implement in our own, and vice versa. And also it's just nice to know that you're not alone in this whole world of people studying and that sort of thing. And it's just nice to see how different people work from different university and backgrounds and that sort of thing. And when we're all going to graduate one day, we might end up working with him, so it would be nice to be able to create those friendships that we can use over time when we become proper sisters. Conjunction to being moved around hospitals and different facilities, you get experience and exposure to different specialties and faculties that are within the nursing field. So you get to see what each and different type of nurse does, so that by the time you graduate, you sort of know where you fit in, which one you want to specialize in. The transition into the working world is not as abrupt for you, because you have experience in those fields and you know how to work there. And also makes it very easier for other nursing staff to put trust in you, because it's very difficult for older nurses to put trust in a ComServe or a new graduate out of nursing, because they don't know how to work in that ward. But if you have experience in that ward, or even just the blanket of a medical ward, even if it's not that specific ward, you know how it works and how it functions, and it's easier for you to gain that trust between the working staff that you'll be with. This one is a bit of a sore point with nursing students, and it's about being short-staffed. Unfortunately, that's the reality in most countries, especially in South Africa. And in South Africa, we got a lot of protests that are happening. Nurses are sick, and there's just a lot that is happening, and we've got a lot more patients than nurses that are available. And as a result, majority of the time, nursing students are seen as a replacement, and we get put under a lot of pressure. And the older nurses sometimes use the excuse, you are learning, so therefore you need to do this work, and we get abused in the whole process. But the reality of it all is that we are there to serve our patients and not the hospital. So if us as nursing students can be there to bridge the gap and provide the extra hands that are needed, I think we should be there. Nursing is a very humble career, and we need to humble ourselves and not have the ego. Yes, I know it's difficult, but later on when we become sisters, we are going to be stressed like them. So we should just try out and help them out as much as possible. So you're probably wondering now, like, so where's the advantage in that? The advantage is that we are the angels that come to save the day. It's unfortunate that there is no sisters there, or there's no nursing staff there, and we are able to come and step in. The nurses that are there, they're also stressed, they're also humans, and if we can do our part to relieve the stress that they already have in it and not overwork them and make them sick so that they're off sick more often and that sort of thing, I think that's an advantage of being a nursing student, where we are able to move from different facilities and help out in the best way possible that we can. Another advantage of being a nursing student is that we get to use the medical information that we learn from university and in the hospital in our own personal lives. As soon as you enter into the medical field, you're going to get people that are going to ask you questions like, oh, I've got this ailment that's happening with me, or I've got this sore, whatnot, and they're going to ask you for advice. Yes, always going to know how to answer them or how to help them, but just having that background knowledge of what's happening with them, you can advise them as much as possible. Or if you've got a public platform where you can share your knowledge, you can also do that, whether you're doing that in person by teaching other people and giving house talks, or using your social media platforms to just educate everyone else about things that you might know that the general public might not know. Because at the end of the day, us as nurses, we're educators. We're supposed to educate the people around us and the general public. So as a nursing student, it is going to start from then on. As soon as you step into that university or that hospital, you're going to be asked questions, and you need to be able to teach those that are around you and not just the patients that you meet in the hospital. The next two are very short. The first one is, in some provinces or some countries, nursing students get a stipend or a small allowance that they can use for their expenses, but it's not in every university or in every province like in South Africa. It's only in the other provinces and the Western Cape. Unfortunately, that is not the case. I am not quite sure whether international students and students that are on bursaries, if they do get it. Should I get more information, definitely follow me on Instagram and I'll post those updates on there. But I know most South African students that are outside of the Western Cape, they do get a stipend. The second thing is you learn time and stress management. If later on in your life you're ever going to want to study part-time while you're working your full-time job as a nurse, this is a good experience for you, because technically what you're doing now will be what you were doing if you're going to study part-time, if you want to do your postgraduate, because we work for a certain amount of days during the week, and the other time you're doing university stuff, and you have to be able to juggle both. And also it gives you skills that you're able to use should you get married, and you need to manage your family, business that you want to create on the side, etc. It just helps you to balance all of it. So those are all skills that we get to learn early on in our life. Second last advantage of being a nursing student, for me, I think this is the biggest advantage out of all of them, and it is the ability to be able to combine your theory and your practical. So in university, you'll be learning things from the textbook. Medications, this is the medication, these are the contraindications, and that sort of thing. And it's not always easy to comprehend it if you've never seen it, especially when it comes to illnesses. Yes, you can see a picture, but a picture is very different to the real thing. So having that practical experience and exposure to be able to differentiate between the two and combine what you learn in class and in the hospital is very, very vital and useful in your learning experience, because you'll be able to comprehend what you're learning in class and in the university, and makes it easier for you to answer questions on exams and to be able to treat your patients better, because you've got the background of the textbook information of why certain things are happening, and you see it physically on your patient, and you understand what is happening with your patient, and therefore you're able to provide better care for them because you understand what they're going through and that sort of thing. I saved the best for last. The last advantage of being a nursing student is that you get the fulfillment of helping others. Majority of us got into nursing because we have the passion and the zeal to be able to help others, and you have no idea how fulfilling it is at the end of the day, knowing that you've done your best to provide care for your patient. And it's even more beautiful when you see the patient's condition getting better, or the thank you, or the family knows you by name and they just mention you in their prayers while you're passing by. It's just a really amazing feeling. And being able to go to the hospital every time and just being filled with those endorphins and just, fulfilling your purpose in life, which is serving others. For me, I think that is a base feeling, and that is the greatest advantage of being a nursing student, and I would not change my career for anything. But anyway, you can never say never. So anyway, this is the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any more advantages that I might have missed, definitely comment down below in the section and we can discuss what are the great things we get from being nursing students. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, definitely give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to come back, definitely hit the subscribe button. Until next week, Friday, 12 p.m. South African time, have an awesome semester, nurses. Bye.